So Scotch Gambit with bishop to e7, and you will see played here quite a lot because there are some neat tricks and traps in it. c3. I'll show you the tricks and traps, and then I'll go back and recommend knight takes d4 with a Scotch game. c3 is kind of interesting because of the temptation that black has to take on c3. But if you take on c3, white's got this very awkward move to make queen to d5. Now the move that black would like to play is, well, what can he play here? Knight to h6 is no good because it will be taken by the bishop, and black can't castle. The move that you'd like to play here is some sort of queen move to e7 or f6 to defend f7 against the white queen, but of course that's not available. And quite a lot of black players just resign here, which is not necessary. You can stumble on for a move or two. Some black players will try and create some space for their king, so the king can escape here to d7, but that doesn't actually help. Takes king d7, bishop e6, checkmate. So that wasn't an improvement. But after queen d5, you can play knight h6. It looks a bit odd, but bishop takes h6 castles, and now white's got a couple of problems to solve here, one of which is c takes b2, which will win a rook, and if you try and come back with bishop to c1, we've got this awkward move knight to b4 when if you play your queen back to d1. Oops, that wasn't what I meant to do at all. That if you play your queen back to d1, then the move c2 is going to be awkward for you, and we've got the move knight to c2 as well to worry about. So black's got some counterplay in that position that they needn't have had. So after castles, don't play bishop c1, but play bishop takes g7. This doesn't give black time to organise anything like knight b4 or c2. Bishop takes g7, king takes g7. Now knight takes c3, and knight to b4 isn't a threat. C takes b2 isn't a threat, and white's got just a nice advantage here. You're not a pawn up, you're not a pawn down, but your pieces are much more active. The king's position has been disturbed, and this is just clearly better for white. So that's the sunny side of c3, but black of course doesn't have to take on c3, allowing you this queen d5 idea. The best move here probably is knight to a5, and after the bishop retreats, say to d3, takes and takes, and black's got a pawn for, well, you have some compensation here. We see the evaluation up here that says white's still got a small advantage here despite being a pawn down, so you've got more than a pawn's worth of development advantage here, and overall a little bit better for white. d6 castles, knight f6, and the game goes on. You will hope to move your rooks to the middle and create some aggro for the black pieces there. An alternative, often the case, you can also play castles here. That's not a bad move at all. If d6 takes on d4 is a simple way to play it with a kind of a Scotch. Castles, knight f6, probably better. Now you can play rook e1, that's quite a good move, or knight takes d4, when there are some ways for black to go wrong here again. d5 doesn't work out so well. Takes and takes, knight b5, uncovering an attack on the knight, and a move not to play here is bishop to e6, apparently defending everything, but bishop takes d5, bishop takes d5, queen takes d5 is very sneaky, and you'll pick up a piece because you'll pick up the queen after playing knight takes c7 check. That's another blunder for black to play. If you get the impression that playing the Scotch Gambit is just full of traps for black, exactly right. Knight takes d4 is another game I know, and this is not a threat to white having the queen in the middle here. f4 is a vigorous try. b6 is not the right way to go for black, I don't think. e5, and now in this position black came up with d5, which is a blunder. Bishop to b5 check, because in this position we can play a check and black has to lose a piece. If you take here, we'll take here. So bishop to c5, hoping that that's enough of a respite. But rook e1 check, king f8, takes on g7 check, king to g8, and queen, white queen's on h8 with checkmate. Rather amusing game. So if black doesn't get on with the development, doesn't get on with getting getting their king to safety, their roof can fall in. Here's another little game in this same line with castles. Knight f6, d6, knight c3, very sensible. Castles, rook e1, bishop d7, bishop g5, knight d4, takes, bishop c6, and now rook a d1. I think white's development is very sensible and very pretty, really. It's you know, the white's piece is kind of ideally placed. It's hard to think of one that could be improved. Rook e8 here is a mistake because of e5, and probably the worst move on the board here for black to play is d takes e5. Natural enough, I guess, but white can, if you move the queen out of the way, you'll be able to take the queen with your rook. So we play takes on f7 check, king takes f7, queen c4 check, and that's got the queen out of the way, and we've taken the queen. And white's just winning here. So that's some lines and some short games played after the castles move. But I do recommend knight takes d4, after which there aren't quite so many traps, but white's got a very satisfactory game here. A game might continue. Knight f6, knight c3, castles. Oops, I don't think you can see any of that, can you? White can play knight f6, knight c3, castles, d6, and bishop f4, and it's just a small advantage to white, but a very easy game to play. You'll move your queen one day, move the rooks into the middle, and black really hasn't got anything much to write home about. An alternative instead of knight f6, takes, and if you play bishop f6 here, you'll get e5 in your face, I expect. If f6 is played, then queen d5, and the usual problems for black appear on f7, and there's no way out of this one. You can't even play knight h6 and castles. So that's the inferior defence of bishop e7 against the Scotch.